look, man, we got to start with Washington and Oregon yesterday. The 2:30 battle of the Pac Northwest. It's what we talked about all week long. First time these two teams ever meet as top 10 teams. Both have Heisman candidates, and it's one of those beautiful games where everybody lived up to the billing, right? I mean, everybody on both teams was just simply fantastic. Bo Nix was awesome. Michael Penix was awesome. Bucky Irvin blew my mind. The running back from Oregon, Agent Zero, doing a great job. Dylan Johnson for Washington had a good game. Troy Franklin having crazy catches on one side, and then the weapons of the Huskies and Dunze Polk on the other. I mean, just a fantastic game, Aaron.
Yeah, and it's so funny. We talk about the LSU Ole Miss game from a couple weeks ago and how that was like an offensive battle, and it got into the 50s, and I was kind of complaining like that was ugly. This was an offensive battle, but it was a clean football game, in my opinion, that I could watch every single week. And like that is a good quality football game where defenses had their moments, but it was mostly an offensive show. And you said the weapons were all over the ballpark yesterday. And I'll get right into just kind of my biggest issue with the entire thing. Dan Lanning. And I know Kurt Herbstreit tried to defend him the whole game of like, hey, you come on the road, you make up your mind of, hey, I'm going to be aggressive, and I draw a line in the sand, and this is who I'm going to be, and this is what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
I did not agree with the end of the half. You kick a field goal. It's a 1-point game. You get the ball back at the second half. You can go down there, score a touchdown, take a touchdown lead. If you don't, then it's a one-score game still. And then the fourth down decision to go for it, where your defense for Oregon had been playing great in the second half. They've only given up 7 points the entire half. Oregon's defense only gave up 7 points.
Yeah.
And you go for it instead of punting it, making them drive the distance to score a touchdown with no timeouts remaining. I thought those two decisions obviously were the two decisions that cost them the football game. There is a difference. There's a difference between being aggressive and being reckless. Lane Kiffin is the biggest culprit of this. You're being reckless at times because you have this mindset.
Hold on. Reckless, I agree with Lane. Nothing about Lanning's decision-making felt reckless to me. Look, a lot of times when we judge football coaches or play calls or anything, and I understand why, and I'm not even saying this is wrong because what else do you judge, but we're very results-based in our judgment, right? Did it work or did it not? And again, you could say, well, yeah, T-Bob, that's kind of the whole point. I get what you're saying, but I do believe there are play calls that are good play calls and they don't work, but it was still a good play call at the time, just something wrong, they didn't execute it. You can't talk about wanting to take advantage of analytic situation with aggression if you don't actually live it. So when Dan Lanning comes out and they score immediately to start the game or to tie it up, and then they go for two and they get it, like that's the same attitude of going for it before half. And look, I understand going for it before half. It didn't seem like you could get stopped. You're trying to play winning football. Is it greedy? Yes. But it's aggressive. You're trying to make them bleed, get the ball back and make them bleed. And remember, at that time, Washington did not have a goal-to-go stop on the entire season. And honestly, you should have scored on third down. But what happened? Yeah. Great play call. Bo Nix buries the screen pass. I mean, the guy was wide open. If he hits the running back like he did all day, 80% completion, then it's a touchdown. And so I get what you're saying because I like what Dan
and I'm not and that one and I disagree with that and I disagree with that one, but I can understand the reasonings. Like I get everything you're saying. I'm not like on a scale of 1 being okay with it, 10 being like you're an idiot. I'm kind of like in the middle, like a 5.
Yeah,
like I can go either way with that one. The fourth down going forward at your own 50-yard line instead of punting it once again with Washington team that's only had one touchdown the entire half. That to me is reckless. That to me is not trusting your defense that has performed at a high level, knowing that they have to go the entire length of the field most likely without a timeout. Just so that was too much. Because I'll go for an offensive mindset here. Sorry, real quick.
Yeah, go for
it. As an offensive guy in a 2-minute situation, the mindset completely changes when you have 50 yards to go compared to having to drive the entire length of the field. That's true. What your play calls are, what just the anxiety that you have on starting the drive. Like, dude, you give me the ball with over a minute to go in the game, and I'm at the 50-yard line. Like, all right, let's go. This is easy stuff here. Like, you go into it with so much more confidence. But if I'm Washington, who once again has not had a ton of success in the second half, and I have to go 80, 90 plus yards to score a touchdown without a timeout, there's some anxiety to that moment.
Yeah,
where you're not going in there as with as much confidence.
Yeah,
played right into their hands
until Rome Odunze just like catches one ball and then they're at the 50 here. But no, look, okay.
But he hadn't done that. No, they hadn't done that the entire half, though.
I know.
He hadn't done it the entire half.
And that context is maybe the biggest argument against going for there. But I can't be hypocritical, right? I've come on the show multiple times and talked about what I call the Pat Mahomes principle, where don't give them the ball back. Right. If like, why give him the ball back if you have the ability to take the initiative and end the game on your own? And so it's all a bit paradoxical because I support Dan Lanning's decisions, but you are also correct in that there is no doubt that ends up being the difference in a 3-point game. So I'm just saying, like, I actually like the call because, yeah, I don't want to give it back. I know they haven't had success, but I know who Michael Penix is. I know who this offense is. I know how quick they can score. And granted, they did leave Oregon enough time to try to go get another opportunity, and then they end up missing the field goal. But it's just I'll be interested to see how Lanning maybe shifts in the future because, again, I actually like and cheer on the decisions that were made. But, again, he got wrong. He got everyone wrong. And
what do you walk away from? He did get him wrong. What do you walk away from this game, Oregon, with those mistakes, not mistakes from the coaching, whatever you want to rationalize in your mind, a 3-point loss on the road with a missed field goal to send it in overtime? I kind of walk away watching that game saying that I think Oregon's still the better football team.
I fucking know. Oh my God.
I'm just going to be honest.
Just shut the fuck up. Stop.
Just to be honest with you.
Stop.
Washington was the better football team.
They beat it back-to-back years. Shut up. We can't stop playing this game. Stop trying to crown Oregon just because y'all were also riding their defense hard. No. Aaron, at a certain point, the football has to matter. I'm not going to play this game. Shut up. That's so annoying that you're going to sit here and try to do that. That's so stupid. That is so stupid. They're the better team when Michael Penix Jr. throws for 4 tuds to his boys, just launching it. Rome Odunze's just mossing people. God, Washington didn't even have McMillan. They didn't have McMillan. They only had 2 of the weapons, and all they needed were 2.
And Oregon didn't have the 2 of their starting corners for the entire second half, and they shut down that offense with their backups. I will say the one thing that surprised me and I was impressed with was Washington, and this was early on in the game, like first possession, their willingness and ability to execute running the football. Like if they could do that this year, Washington reminds me a lot of the 2019 LSU football team, where like they're not horrendous on defense by any means. Like it's not any.
No, that just pisses me off. Y'all been disrespecting the Oregon. Y'all been disrespecting the Husky defense, and you're still disrespecting the Husky defense. Even though they win the game this time around.
I'm not trying to disrespect them here. I never disrespected them before. I just said Oregon was the better defense. That's not disrespecting them. I'm just saying in fact, if I would have picked which defense would I prefer to have on my team, I'm picking the Oregon defense.
The disrespect but the Washington defense in the form of saying Oregon is still better when they just lost a second year in a row. Is Ohio State still better than Michigan? Oregon just lost a second year in a row to Washington. Okay, close game both times, but guess what? Caleb DeBoer, I told you, Caleb DeBoer knows how to win championships, knows how to win big games, knows how to win close games.
Let me get to my point about Washington.
Let
me get to my point about Washington. This is identical to the 2000. Yeah, your children are in the room. This is an identical football team to your 2019 LSU football team. Like, and there's and that is a team that could obviously win a national championship. When you have that kind of offense and the way Michael Penix Jr. is playing right now, who should probably be the favorite to win the Heisman, you don't need an elite defense. You just need a good defense. And right now they have a good defense. I'll give them credit. Like it's a good defense with an elite offense and elite playmakers and a quarterback that's dealing. And if you continue to show me that you can run the football at times with Dylan Johnson, I don't know if anyone's gonna be able to stop them. I really like this Washington football team.
I do too. Washington living up to all of our billing, all the love that we've been giving them all year long. I mean, but a great game. And again, you're right. Look, Oregon is a great team as well.
Yes.
I don't think they're as good, but they are a great team as well. Will they rematch? We'll see. But shout out. I mean, we spend so much time talking about Lanning. I get it because that is the inflection point. But yeah, I mean, I want to celebrate DeBoer, Washington, the environment, the fans, Michael Penix Jr. Like I said, I mean, I know you always talk about the importance of weapons, and how could you not be obsessed? I mean, you don't even have McMillan and Adunze and Polk when you had to have it. If you get one-on-one, just throw it up and trust your boy. And it's got to be so nice to be Penix because they make you right. And Penix has that awesome, weird lefty rocket arm with the weird delivery.
Why is it weird? It's not weird.
You don't think his throwing form's weird?
No, I don't at all.
Oh,
I don't
really?
I think maybe because you think it's lefty that it's weird. I think.
No, I feel like I don't know shit about quarterback. I just always feel like he almost has like a sidewinder sort of delivery. Maybe not. I guess I don't know. But
I mean, you look at listen, like there's so many different ways to throw the football. To me, it's like, is it compact? Can it get out of your hand in a hurry? And do you throw the ball with accuracy?
Weird's not bad. I just when I see
I'm
it,
just
maybe
saying,
it is
like,
the lefty. When I see it, I'm like, oh well.
I think it's more. I think it's more for people. It's just a lefty thing because
That's probably true.
There's so many. The variety in which you see righties throw the football nowadays, and we don't complain. You know, it's more lefty. He is unbelievable though. The way in which he can, and we talked about it last week on our show, the accuracy in which he throws it. It's not just the completions he makes, because anyone can throw for 80%. Like, I think we get thrown off with like, oh, someone's an 80% completion guy or a 75% completion guy. Like, he's an accurate quarterback. And yeah, he is an accurate quarterback. There's a difference in the way in which that accuracy is delivered. And the way in which Penix throws the football, it's not only getting completions, it's allowing his receivers to catch the ball away from leverage, away from defenders, catch it and score touchdowns, catch it and get yaks.
Yeah.
His accuracy is a different type of 80% completion.
The 2-point conversion was awesome when they spread everybody out and he threw it. I think it was like a tight end, but he just
right by the defender's hand.
Yeah. I mean, just right. I mean, gave his hand a little handshake on the way to the receiver. It was he was awesome. The weapons were awesome. The environment was awesome. Shout out Washington. Massive win.